Alright, welcome back everybody from a long hiatus actually. Haven't done any one of these videos in a minute. I did a poll recently, and obviously most of you guys who wanted to see this voted for this, so it's going to be about motivation, which is kind of an interesting subject or topic to talk about in general, just because it's kind of all subjective in a way. So I'm gonna try to, I guess, use examples that for me that I do, or maybe like pros in general, or just even pro athletes from like baseball, football, any of that kind of stuff. Just because it's really hard to have one solid way of saying, oh, this is the way to be motivated and stuff like that. Because there really is no way. It's just mattering on you as a person, what inspires you, or what goals you have and stuff like that. So kind of like, I guess the first thing I'll start off with, what I just said a minute ago, was goals. Um, Most players have a goal they want to achieve, like they want to get PR'd, or they want to beat the certain player, or get top 64 at a national, or something like that. Or maybe there's this person that you just can't beat and you want to keep going after them, and that person just is the person that pushes you to keep playing, getting better and stuff like that. um, I mean, but I mean, first is first. You should just have the love of the game too. I mean, if you're just playing it for money, I don't know what you're doing, because this isn't like CS:GO and you're gonna make millions or anything like that. Pretty sure the only people to do that or make quite a bit of the cash is like consistent streamers, and like kind of like Melee. I would say top 20. I would say they don't make millions, but they still make a good amount of cash. But beside the point, they still love the game. Like at the end of the day, um, but I mean, the goal could be anything really. I mean, it could be taking first at a local, beating, or not really beating anyone, just placing a top 10 or top 8 at a regional, getting through first round pools. But you can't just sit there and complain about stuff. That's the number one pitfall I think a lot of players fall into is, well, this beats this, and there's no way I can do that. And right there, you're ready to feeding yourself. Like, you're just beating yourself up on a situation that you can do, but you persistently keep being pessimistic about it and don't research it or do anything about it. I mean, yeah, the internet can provide you information and stuff, but say like, oh, the matchup's 6-4 or 7-3 or something like that. I mean, a prime example is I just read about actually didn't read, I listened. Mango was talking about Sheik versus Captain Falcon, how they said that the matchup's getting so much closer than it used to be, thanks to like smash DIing the jabs, finding out that when Sheik's off stage, you hold the ledge and force her up, like she's pretty much a sitting duck. Um, like there's a whole bunch of other options, like, and then he said the reason why Sheik did away with so much is they can cheese Falcon out because of his crappy recovery. But at the same token, like I said, Sheik gets off stage. Well, the roles are reversed now. So looking up stuff like that is primary example is not complaining about it. You have to keep trying and asking questions, and even look up videos. Sometimes even just taking a small break. And no, I'm not talking about like months on end or barely playing the game at all. Like sometimes if you need like a I don't know the right word to call it, but like the only way I can think of it is called dicking around. But like not taking it seriously, like just trying to like just have fun. Like I don't know, do stamina mode, a 4v4 puff match, which sounds like more of a nightmare and me being drunk. Yeah, a prime example. I just said it, drunk. Like me playing Captain Falcon, I'm pretty much wasted half time, and I'm not gonna learn anything. I think there's only one good thing came from me being drunk, and that's like being able to see people's texts. I don't know why that worked, but don't ask questions. But it's stuff like that. Like you have to know when to de-stress, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Because if you keep being all pissed off the whole time, you're not going to learn anything that way too. It's a fine balance and a mixture of what you need to do. Like, yeah, you have to care, but you can't care to the point where that's all you focus on. Is like, oh, this character is bullshit. I lost to this. Da 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 da. Like, you gotta de-stress and just have fun with it. Um, I would say like another thing too about the whole goals thing or motivation, since it kind of goes hand in hand. Like I'll use myself as a prime example. Like 2 years ago is when I was trying to get PR'd, and I just came back to playing Melee after like, I don't know, I think a half year or something like that. I mean, people remember me, but they thought I was washed up and like, oh yeah, he's good, but we don't know if he's that good. Pretty sure Carol actually has a video of him saying that about people were talking about how they don't know why they're talking about me being PR'd when I shouldn't be talked about and I'm not that good, some BS like that. And then I think that tournament is where I beat Dempton Sweet, and I got like 4th or something like that, at like a regional in Pittsburgh, something like that. I can't remember what it was. It was like A New Hope is what it was. I think that's when I teamed with Mango at that time. But it was one of those things where it just lit a fire under my ass. I was like, you know what? I'm going to show these guys what I can do. Like, yeah, I haven't played this game in like 3 years or so, but I mean, I put a lot of time into it. I mean, any time I could find time to play, I would find it. I mean, people who were even playing again, I got them playing because I needed something. I needed somebody to play because I didn't know anybody new in the scene. Like, a lot of people I knew that played all retired or moved on with their life, got married, had kids, yada, yada, yada. I was like one of the few left that really didn't move on, I guess, to that stage, or wasn't ready for it. I don't know what the right word is, too. But, I mean, right there, I guess you can call it motivation as like a goal, or kind of like I'm going to do this. I mean, it obviously worked because a lot of you know that I was. And I wanted to get better because, I mean, I was an old school Marth learning still new techniques. I mean, yeah, I still have some old school stuff, but learning that new technique helped out a lot. And that was my goal. I was like, I'm going to learn all this new trick and what's increased in the game and why is it so much faster now and what's the new school technique and, you know, so forth and so on. And I guess it was like in a way, and what do I need to do, or what do I need to do in order to keep up? Like, I researched stuff. I looked up videos. I watched PPU a lot. I can't remember. His name escapes me. PPMD I watched a lot of. I think I watched a lot of Ty too because I wanted to know how he teched some of those hits that he did, because he had some magnificent techs when he did it up B into back air immediately. He did like 7 in a row against PPU one time at like Kings of Cali. I don't know what number, but it was one of those matches. But even then, like, even the matches that didn't refer or didn't exactly be a Marth match, I'd watch them just to see what the character did, like a Valko or a Fox or even Captain Falcon. Like, I wanted to see what was new about these characters. I wanted to learn what they did. And that's another thing too. It's not really touched on secondaries, but like when you're messing around, you could, in a way, essentially be learning another character. Like when I was messing around with Captain Falcon, I was kind of learning him in a way. Like, yeah, I did some crazy off stage stuff and didn't care about my life when I jumped off there. But it was still one of those things that I was like, oh, Captain Falcon go this far and recover? Wow, he can cover a lot. Like, I didn't know that. Even with me being blasted, I just still could understand what was going on in a way. You got too much, you know, Fireball whiskey, you don't remember much. But anyhow, that's another thing you do. Like, chill out, learn the character. Someone else is different. You don't care about winning. It's not your character. But it's another way to, I guess, learn them, really. But I guess the last thing I can touch on would be being inspired. Like, looking up to somebody. Like, it could be a local player. Like, let's say, I mean, for example, Neo's probably #1 favorite players. Definitely Dave. Everyone always talks about Dave, 4%. They always love him. Because he was kind of like the first person to really break through and give Neo a representation, especially at larger events. I mean, the only other person I would say that'd be technically the first would be Vigio Gamer, but that was before Melee was practically this big. I mean, yeah, we had MLG back in 2006, 2007, but it wasn't one of those things that he was widely known. I think that's when he was kind of slowing down, actually, because when Brawl came out, he was pretty much done. But that's like a prime example. I mean, for me, I was inspired by like PPU and how young he was and how quickly he learned the game. It's like, okay, I may have a lot going on in my life, but this kid's going through college and doing everything else, and he learns Melee and still attends these nationals. There's no way that I can make an excuse about me not being able to. But like I said, that does not have to be your goal. Winning an event or being a somebody or anything like that. Maybe just you being the best Samus or the best Luigi, Marth, Falco, whatever you want. Like, in your area, your state could be your goal. Make it something. Like, do small little practice sessions. Make small goals and build on top of them, and just work your way to doing it. Don't just talk about it. Do it. And it doesn't have to be right away, like I said. I mean, you just got to ask questions and keep going with it. I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand, really, with having the desire to play the game and being motivated. I mean, you can think about it if you say, oh, I'll just put it off for tomorrow. Like, I won't practice today. I won't work on my wavelands, or maybe I need to work on the stage platform dancing or something like shield dropping, stuff like that. Like, I mean, I overhear Badger, and since he's playing, he tells me he plays about half hour a day, tries to fit it in there. That's actually very smart, and it showed. And he's a prime example. Like, he used to get styled on like no other. I not to put him on blast or anything, but I mean, for God's sakes, the Mansfield boys wanted to make a combo video about styling on Badger or something, or thanks for holding in Badger. I don't know. It was something like that, but he did. He hold in a lot. And I told myself, remember one day I was thinking about that. I was like, man, this kid's either going to quit because he just can't learn it, or he's going to evolve and get tired of being made fun of and be better, you know? And, well, Lord behold, now he's PR'd in Wooster, and like he's a threat coming up. Like, I can see his kid becoming a big threat in Neo once he gets more experience. I mean, he did good. He does well in tight situations, but he still has those nervous points. But that's a whole nother topic. That could be another video about Badger if people really wanted that. But that's just an example of how he did. I mean, college is another one too. When he first came to the Wooster Throwdowns in, oh God, I think it was 2 years ago, something like that. He was bad. I got to be honest. I mean, he's another victim that held in and just didn't learn it. Now he just kind of slaps around my cheek like no other. And I mean, yeah, sometimes he gives my Martha run for his money, but he's PR'd. He's been PR'd for a solid year and a half, I think. I think once he's been on, he's never gotten off. So there's always hope, and he just tried. I mean, he had fun. He came out. Every time I had a little Smash Fest, he was there. I mean, and it's just right there. It's obvious. I mean, he would ask questions too. He'd be like, and I pointed out too, like, hey, this is what you're doing wrong, by the way, and he appreciated it. But I mean, he had the motivation and having the will to go on. And even when you get to somewhere, you always got to remember that there's always someone else that's practicing that much harder than you, and you want to keep up. Because if you get comfortable, that's when you get stagnant. You never want to be comfortable. You always want to be ready for the next thing. And that's always been a thing playing in my mind's like, what happens if I go further? What happens if I practice 10 more minutes? What happens if I do 3 times a week instead of 2? And what would happen? You know, I mean, that's what I think about. Because you never know. That one time you didn't practice might cost you a match. It might cost you someone who actually worked harder than you. So, you know, apparently Tony says, tournaments, man, get out of there. That's pretty nice. I don't know why that. I need to stop doing that crap. But anyhow, that's just pretty much the best way without going in a long, lengthy video about how to be motivated and how to do it yourself without explaining each and every one, like personalities and stuff. That would take forever. Good God, I'd never have a video done in 20 minutes or less talking about motivation because I have to go through all the personalities. Ugh, no. Like, this is the best way I can think of to sum it up, because I've never seen anyone else do a video about motivation, what to do, because it's always like, oh, hey, look at all this awesome stuff, or pretty much analysts on like a match or whatever, because those people, I feel like those people know, like, if they want to get better, they'll watch that stuff. I mean, and analysis matches are actually pretty nice too. If you see a match that one of your favorite players does, like Mango or Plup, Mewtwo King's is kind of different. I don't know how to explain his. Like, I feel like if you're not Mewtwo King, you won't understand it, because some of the stuff he talks about, I go, what the hell? But anyhow, that's just what I think. And keep trying, keep playing, boys and girls, since there are some of you out there. I forgot about that. And always ask questions, as I say in every kind of topic about this, because you always can learn something. There's always something new to learn. And yeah, keep playing, boys, and I'll see you next time on these wonderful videos. And hopefully they won't be as long. Like I said, I was kind of gone for a little bit. I'm kind of recovering from a cold sinuses thing. I was going to do it earlier this week, but God, I felt like death. And hopefully it will be more, I guess, consistent. It's just been so busy lately. So anyhow, with that note, I will see you all later.